It's Tuesday, February 8th, 2022, and the morning edition is live. On today's show, a new senator sworn in, top academic achievers awarded, we're bird watching, and it's Kite Day. So let's start the morning off right.
The Morning Edition is brought to you by We Buy You Sell Company, your leading hurricane impact windows, doors, and tile specialist.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Edition. I'm Jiminita Swain.
And I'm a rejuvenated Charles Fisher, all ready for today's show. It's like an educational show today, Jimmy. We're going to talk about bird watching, lots of energy we're going to show you. We're talking about bird watching and kite flying.
Yeah, kite flying should be interesting. Did you pull out your kite to fly? Or?
No, I'm going to try and make one this morning on set as that story is being played. But bird watching, that's something most people don't know about or haven't been doing in quite some time.
Yeah, well, bird watching, we're remembering one of the persons that got bird watching started in Grand Bahama. She recently passed, and her group wanted to remember her in a special way. So they're just reflecting on her life and the contribution she's made to ecotourism and Grand Bahama and the Bahamas as a whole. So very, very interesting story.
It's also Boy Scouts Day. We'll be going live to one of the directors of the Scout Association speaking with them. And also getting in shape day. We have Nado Dean in studio. He's not going to put on a performance, but he's going to tell us about things to do during this COVID time. So we're looking forward to that. And I know you viewers are already ringing up the phone because you're looking forward to today's trivia. Today's trivia question. Let's bring that up on the screen. What do the X's and O's and XO stand for? And you can win this mug, all courtesy of Janae's Uniform Center. We're celebrating Valentine. And don't forget to go on down by Janae's and get your Valentine gift. And once again, the phones are ringing. I didn't even say the number. 502-3855. Once you can tell us what the X's and O's stand for, Jimmy, I'm going to give you a try again. Yesterday,
I know what they stand for, so I am not going to give away the answer. I'll wait for the viewers to call in. As you said, the phones are ringing off the hook already, so we should already have an answer.
Okay, well, let's take it out to the streets where our Crystal Darling is standing by with our Tuesday morning traffic. Good morning, Chrissy.
Good morning, Charles, and good morning, Jiminita. We're here on top of the hill, Mackey Street, where there doesn't seem to be that much traffic as yet. But this morning, we're here with Officer Patrick Kemp, who's going to give us an overview of last night's traffic situation.
Good morning, Crystal. Good morning, Bahamas. Well, reported to us over a 24-hour period, so over 10 accidents. And let me tell you, yesterday was a really busy day, especially for traffic crashes on the streets of New Providence. And it's due to the fact that persons are not driving with due care and attention. A lot of persons are not paying special attention to the way they enter and exit the streets and the signs that are erected that are there for their safety and other road users. Persons are just not paying attention.
And we know that schools too, since schools have recently opened and now we see a whole lot more traffic on the road these days, do you think that that also contributes to the high level of accidents you see?
Most definitely. There has been an increase in the flow of traffic, and when it concerns especially our pedestrians, I want to say to the drivers out there to please be mindful of our little ones and with persons on the whole that are utilizing the streets to be mindful of these pedestrians and allow them to cross when necessary and when possible. All right, it can obviously prevent and avoid any accidents from occurring with injuries when it concerns our pedestrians.
Okay, and we know that right now we're also in the Palmdale area, which is a high business area, and there are also a lot of parking lots in this area. What should motorists do if they get in an accident in a parking lot?
Well, Crystal, this is one of our main concerns. A lot of persons, especially in busy areas, a lot of persons, they are not paying attention, and it's incumbent on you as a driver that when you enter your vehicle to make sure that your way is clear, especially in parking lots, such as where we are on top of the hill, Mackey Street. Persons tend to reverse into each other, and then they leave the scene because they have the impression that a police officer is not going to come and investigate that matter because it's on private property. Well, I couldn't be further from the truth. All right, the police officer, we're mandated to pretty much be engaged in anything that is reported to us when it concerns, especially when it concerns traffic crashes. So if an accident happened in the parking lot, you remain on that scene and you report that matter to the police, and our job is to come to investigate it. Nobody should encourage you to leave that scene because they're of the opinion that this is private property.
Thank you so much, Officer Kemp. Back to you in the studio, Charles and Jimenita.
Thanks a lot, Chrissy. We are waking up to 68 degrees, mostly cloudy. Winds east at 5 miles per hour. Humidity 93%. Our Atlantic high pressure ridging continues to support moderate winds and streaming moisture across the Bahamas today. Meanwhile, a lingering cold front over Florida moves closer to the extreme northwest Bahamas by late tonight. Fall areas weather very cloudy in the extreme northwest Bahamas, partly to mostly sunny. Warm and breezy with isolated showers today, mostly fair tonight. Today's high temperature 82 degrees Fahrenheit, overnight low of 64. And as we look ahead to Wednesday and Thursday, Wednesday variably cloudy, becoming breezy with isolated to widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, 79 in the day, 67 at night. And then on Thursday, mostly cloudy with isolated showers and possible thunderstorms over portions of the central and southeast Bahamas, 78 in the day, 67 at night.
Times have changed, and in order to stay relevant and continue to serve the public, parliamentarians believe it's time they do as well. During a sitting of the upper chamber on Monday, senators had their say on a resolution authorizing the appointment of a standing committee to look into the administration of Parliament that would essentially grant management and control over its own budget. Leader of Government Business, the Honorable Michael Alquidas, led off debate and suggested that the committee also look at how duties for MPs have evolved.
Members of Parliament are called upon to represent their constituents' views and interests in Parliament. They're also called upon to render assistance and to attend to the needs of their constituents. And to assist with this, Madam President, we have seen the allocation of constituency office and other allowances. And so, as part of their deliberations, are these allowances and are these resources that are available to members of Parliament still adequate? Given the passage of time and the increase in responsibilities and expenses.
A brief swearing-in ceremony also taking place for the newest member of the upper chamber. F&M Senator the Honorable Michaela Barnett Ellis replaces former Senator Vianna Gardner, who resigned from the post last month. In her inaugural speech, Barnett Ellis promised to carry out her duties in the best interest of the Bahamian people while adopting a bipartisan approach during Senate debates.
I shall endeavor to approach our debates with a view to bringing as many of my colleagues opposite with me and listen to their contributions to see where there's fertile ground for consensus. And when we disagree, and we undoubtedly will, to do so in a manner keeping with the dignity of this place and our duty to the Bahamian people. I will faithfully discharge my duty to hold the members opposite accountable and ensure that all legislation approved in this place is in the best interests of the Bahamas.
Minister of National Security, the Honorable Wayne Munro, is committing to ensure the Royal Bahamas Defence Force gets all it needs to effectively protect the nation's borders from transnational crime, be it human trafficking or poaching. A part of that is attending to the military's manpower needs. 3 squads of Marines are expected to complete training this year. Also on tap, proper vessel maintenance. Munro says his ministry is also looking into how the drone program, that $17 million contract the Minister administration signed with Swift Engineering in 2019, will proceed.
We listened to the request by the Commodore. We have brought back Commander Warren Bain, who is going to work with Darman in the maintenance program for the fleet, so that the ships of the fleet will be up more regularly and constantly to be on patrol. We met in place the drone program that has challenges that we're trying to work through at the moment to see whether that iteration of it is going to survive or whether we have to supplement it in some way.
Hundreds of junior and senior public and private school students lauded for achieving high grades in the Bahamas Junior Certificate and Bahamas General Certificate of Secondary Education examinations. Christopher Knowles of Queen's College was the top achiever for earning 13 A's. Minister of Education, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, referenced the accomplishments as stellar. She says despite the global pandemic, they were still diligent in their educational pursuits.
It is no doubt your focus and your determination, your discipline and your sacrifice has you here today. And only you truly know your struggle.
And 29 new cases of COVID-19 reported in the Ministry of Health's latest release. 26 in New Providence, 2 in Eleuthera, and 1 in Grand Bahama. 11 of the new cases have a travel history in the past 14 days. 65 persons are in hospital, 3 of which are in the intensive care unit. There have been 17 new recoveries. Active cases now stand at 6,713.
And mobile services provided by Cable Bahamas Business Solutions helps our customers help their customers adapt to the new way of paying for things. Digital wallets makes your transactions faster, more convenient, and secure. Whether it's using a debit card at the grocery store or making online payments for your monthly expenses, digital wallets powered by Cable Bahamas Business Solutions makes it better. For more information on our fixed and mobile services, contact the experts at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
To the ZNet Network. Let's chat with Tanya Lighthorn.
Well, today is Boy Scouts Day, and this morning we are joined via Zoom by Robert Bartlett of the Scout Association of the Bahamas. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Edition.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
So let's get right into it. Tell us a bit about the history of the Scout Association here in the Bahamas.
All right. Well, first, let me make a slight correction. We're no longer Boy Scouts in this changing world, so you'll probably get some flack for that. But the Scout Association, scouting in the Bahamas, started way back in 1912. We had a member of Government House who introduced scouting first time to the Bahamas. And in March, 19th of March, 1913, we became a chartered member, or a warranted member of the World Body of Scouts. Scouting, as you may know, started in the world in 1907. So we were not too far behind in having scouting introduced here in the Bahamas. In 1973, we became an independent member of the World Organization of the Scout Movement. In 1975, the Scout Association Act was issued by the Bahamas government, making us a body corporate and a legal entity to be able to conduct business on our own behalf here in the country. We had an international camp on the campus of St. Augustine's back in 1978, where we had scouts from all around the region and the U.S. who came and had a good time there on the grounds of SAC. In 1982, the Bahamas hosted the 13th Inter-American Conference. There are 6 regions in the world, and we are part of the Inter-American region, which constitutes North, Central, South America, and the Caribbean. So we are part of that body.
Tell us more about what the
association. In 1913, Go ahead.
Tell us more about what the association entails.
Well, we are an organization. Our promise, we emphasize duty to self, which is the building up of the whole person. There's duty to others, so your country, your neighbor, that, and then there is the duty to God, because the spiritual element, regardless of what your belief are, we're a non-denominational, apolitical organization. And so we reach the whole man. And so we introduce life serving skills to the youth that we serve.
You made an interesting point at the beginning. It's no longer the Boy Scout. Why the change, and does this mean now that girls can join?
Yeah, that's correct. Worldwide, and this is happening, I think, across organizations, there's a thrust for women to become members. Interestingly enough, though, that the founder of Scouts was also the founder of the Girl Guides. And so we've had a close relationship with the guides over the years. But like I said, there's more and more thrust for females to join the organization. And so as a world organization, we're inclusive. So there are men and women, young and old. We are represented in about 50 million scouts in 200 countries and territories around the world.
Well, can I become a scout, and how can one become involved?
Well, our headquarters is located on Dolphin Drive. We have a website, which is Scouts, SCOUTS, Bahamas.org. The telephone number at headquarters is 325-2757. Ms. Gilda Store will be happy to entertain you. Failing that, there are groups in schools affiliated with churches, and we're getting ready to do the same in some of our communities as well. So if you have an interest, and you can find the leaders, because leaders is something, we train leaders as well. So if you have a group at your church, at your school, and you have leaders who are willing to take charge, we are well prepared and able to train them.
Looks like a lot of fun there. Robert Bartlett, thanks so much for joining us on the morning edition, and happy Scouts Day.
Thank you very much. Enjoy.
Well, with students back in school, many educational institutions are focusing on closing learning gaps that may have widened due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Crystal Darling tells us more.
Intermittent school closures throughout the COVID-19 pandemic said to be the result of reported gaps in learning for some Blairwood students. Owner and director Kim Kuskalis says this is particularly the case with children using alternative learning methods.
Well, COVID impacted our kids tremendously, especially our early intervention program. A lot of our kids have attentional issues, and so parents would call us saying that there's no way their child is going to sit in front of the computer. I know that is not just for our students. That is for students all over this country, primarily in the public, because they have not been open. I know a lot of the private schools were able to open at some point, and so they were able to get some education in, but it has impacted tremendously. I've gotten calls from many parents saying, hey, from COVID, they noticed that their kids were, they weren't keeping up with the class, they weren't understanding what the teacher was saying, very confused about some of the assignments and things like that. So it has been really hard on the kids, the teachers, and the parents overall.
For parents who are still at home assisting their young kids with virtual learning, Kuskalis offered up this bit of advice.
Please have patience. I can just imagine the arguments and the conflicts that probably arise because a child doesn't understand something because he wasn't in school to understand it, and now they're going to be told they have to do it. So to work together, to communicate, to really have the patience, and to really look into a multisensory kind of approach. They can help at home.
And according to Kuskalis, Blairwood's open to assisting the government and community in closing the loopholes in education.
We just celebrated our 30th anniversary, and we have helped a lot of students get into colleges when they thought they never could, to be successful in the community when they thought they couldn't, and the parents were giving up. We are willing to help. The government, anybody that needs help, parents, they can come in, they can talk to us, and it's all about getting our kids to where they need to be. Okay, we need to help with the illiteracy rate in this country. We really need to get these kids that have these gaps from COVID, we have to get them back up to par.
Well, as we head to the break, we take a look back today in Bahamian history. On February 8th, 1974, Clement Maynard was named World Tourism Man of the Year. Also on this day in 2000, the Coalition for Democratic Reform was launched, with Dr. Bernard Nottage serving as interim leader.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best-kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Andros is the #1 bone fishing destination on our planet. Sports fishermen visit our flats every year to participate in one of the most fulfilling outdoor activities known to man, fly fishing. And guess what? It's 100% sustainable. Without areas like the west side of Andros, sustaining this industry would be absolutely impossible. So let's take care of nature, and nature will take care of us.
Athletic activity within the school system is taking a blow due to COVID-19. This morning, we are joined by fitness guru Nato Dean. Welcome to the Morning Edition.
Hello, good morning.
So a lot of children have probably lost a lot of fitness, gained weight, and been inactive for the better part of the last 2 years, and that's probably led them to some insecurities. How do we change that at this point?
Well, first of all, I want to commend Minister Ms. Glennis Anna Martin as well as Zane Lightpoint for doing a great job of trying to get the schools back open and getting our kids back into a degree of learning. However, like I said, because of Dorian and then followed by COVID-19, our kids have become very inactive. And of course, technology has played a part in this, with them becoming just using more of the computer, becoming more domiciled, sitting at home and not really getting out and doing any type of physical activity, as well as the decrease in the amount of physical education classes, hours that are being offered now in the schools. So the long and short of it all is our kids are basically overweight. We have about 13% of the kids across the age group under 17 years of old that are actually obese in our country, and our country is above the average for both men and women for the regional average for obesity in this region. So we really have an overweight problem here.
So a lack of fitness doesn't only lead to poor lifestyles. When you start to get more obese, that can sometimes lead to one being embarrassed and becoming antisocial because they physically just can't keep up with their friends, and the end result sometimes could be bullying. Talk to us a bit about that.
Yes, the bullying, the body shaming, the kids not wanting to interact with their friends and social behavior. You know, there's a direct correlation between what these kids go through and their attention span and their social development and mental development. And this is something that we definitely have to address by trying to get our kids more active and giving them more activities. Bahamas Events and Sports just had a federation meet and greet the other day, and there's so many different federations and associations out there that deals with so many different types of sporting activities. So even if they're not active within the schools, they can join sporting clubs and become more active and doing something that they like, expose them some new things. We normally concentrate on, on the track and the softball and the basketball and swimming, the regular stuff. There are so many different things that your kid may have never been exposed to that if they are given the opportunity to be exposed to these new sporting activities, they can become a lot more active because it's not only interesting and exciting for them, it's something that they enjoy.
Awesome. Thank you so much, of course, Mr. Naruddin there giving us some wonderful tips. Thanks again for joining the morning edition and have a great day.
Thank you.
To the ZNet Network. Let's chat with Tanya Lightborn.
Bird watching is something that both visitors and locals enjoy. However, for the Grand Bahama Island birders, they are facing a tremendous loss with having to start the year off with the absence of their leader, Erica Gates. The group who conducted their 22nd annual Christmas bird count in December 2021 and last January were missing one crucial member. Gail Woon of Earth Care explains.
I met, many decades ago actually, and she invited me as Earth Care to join the sustainable, it wasn't called the sustainable then, it was called the Ecotourism Committee of Grand Bahama with the Ministry of Tourism. So eventually now it's called the Sustainable Tourism Committee. But so she was instrumental in establishing ecotourism at the ministry and gathering all the ecotour companies together to work together.
Founder of Earth Care, Gail Woon, reflecting on how she met the late Erica Gates. Woon explains Gates loved teaching and eventually taught bird watching classes.
Became avid bird watchers, and we would always go out with her whenever she had a field trip. And so she created in us a great love of birds. And then I think it was in 2017, she got the idea, let's make a birding group, because she had gotten so many people interested in it. She would make regular trips to London every year in the summer, I think. She would go to this big conference and she would promote bird tourism, which is called avid tourism, and promote the Bahamas as a birding destination. And she got a lot of people worldwide interested in coming to the Bahamas.
Gates recently lost her battle with cancer, and Woon thought she would remember a friend who had an incredible impact on the Bahamas.
I'm really going to miss her. She just had an amazing spirit, and she showed love to everyone, and she shared her love of Grand Bahama, and specifically Grand Bahama, but she loved the whole Bahamas, and it was her home. There was no other home for her.
Well, today is National Kite Flying Day, and today we speak with longtime kite maker Roland Fox about growing up and hoisting this so-called bird.
After school in the afternoons, I used to make kites. I used to sell plenty, so a lot of times things were cheap. So,
on average, how much you used to sell a kite for?
Per day, I sell up to about 20 kites a day. That's after school. Another time, you get a kite for 6 pence or 12 pence. I don't know if you know much about that currency.
But right now, it seems like kite flying is up in the air.
Lost because the parents are not keeping up with the kids. Then we had Father's Day for kite flying. That's the most people that were training for Charlotte. We used to fly the kites right off the top of Augusta Street before you get to Meeting Street. Where the school is right there, that was like a park to us. And we used to fly kites there. The majority of the people in the neighborhood, the youngsters, were flying kites right up there.
There is an art when it comes to making the best kite.
You got to be familiar with the type of frame you use. You can use wooden shingles, strip them down. Now if you strip them down, you loop them in, put a hammer hook onto it. So when you put the little chip in the back of the hammer, When you put the little chip in the back of the hammer, you're good to go. You go to Stop and Shop, buy your kite papers and whatnot. Be it tissue or crepe. At the time, Stop and Shop was making money just off kite flying.
And once that kite is finished, it's time to get it up in the air.
Oh, the wind plays a major part. And around the time it's Father's Day, that's when the wind starts to come back on increased mode.
So, what's the best feeling of flying a kite?
Sometimes if the kid's on the side, you come and hold it for a while. But you have to hold the kid because that's how. It's almost like a boat sail. So I know years ago, when they made the big kites, I said to tie the kite onto the tree. Because if I hold it, it could take me and lick me into the tree. Not knock-necked.
I remember my days of making kite, and I made my kite right here on set.
That's an attempt.
Well,
but who won the
Jimmy,
trivia?
what is the answer to the trivia? The generic trivia? What is the
Hugs and kisses. XOXO. So who's our winner?
Hugs and kisses, and our winner today is Rakisha Taylor. X for the kisses and O for the hugs.
Well, awesome. Congratulations to our winner. Thanks for tuning in. But be sure to stay tuned to the ZNS Network for TV and radio updates throughout the day. Then you can tune into the Northern Edition at 6:30 and the Bahamas Tonight at 7. That's a wrap for us here this morning. Make it a great day, everyone.
Waiting for the sun, lost track of the days, my luck, it is ain't no fun.